But yeah, we have one more dead body in here. Abigail. She was dead before any of this happened. So how did she die? She was hit with a mast, then is being held by a tentacle. But the ship has been attacked by a kraken. With the helmsman being ripped into the air. Can I see anyone else up there? I don't think any of the top men are visible. But yeah, Abigail struck by a beast. And I assume this is Martin, the person she was speaking to. They're not wearing... Are they wearing uniforms? No, those are passengers. I get the feeling I'm probably going to be a bit loud with this game, because I might have the volume up a bit too high. The Doom. A corpse has been moved post-mortem. Abigail Hoscott Witterall was crushed. I could say rigging. She wasn't struck, so probably crushed, yeah. Crushed by a beast. Well done, 3 fates correct. And it gets set permanently in. And we have to complete this entire wheel to unlock the last section. If you don't do all of them, you never get to see what's in this section. So where were we? We were up to the Doom. And that wasn't even the first part of the Doom. That was part 8 of the Doom. Like the last piece of it. So what do we have here? Martin. Where is the captain? I think I can... No, I can't. I can't just jump back in the previous memory, because these... What is it? How to explain it? This is the first time... I'll just do it. Like, if I exit the book, I no longer have access to the memory as easily. Oh, I do. It just got music. But it's shaking because there's another corpse in this scene. But you. So we know he is Martin. You are probably Martin, who is the third mate. Like, supposedly we can identify the other 2 passengers. I mean, actually, there's only 2 other female passengers. Yeah, it's giving me a warning about how hard this will be to deduct. Yeah, a higher rating means it'll be more difficult to work out who they are. And we should focus on the easier ones to work out the difficult ones for later. But basically, this is about all the information we're going to get, is what we see here. So we know they are passengers. There are only 2 English passengers. And 1 Italian. And these are the only 2 female passengers. We know one's older, one's younger. And like, if we look at the memory, we can tell the older is shielding the younger. Yeah, I know what you meant to do is click. But it gets rid of the memory. I was still looking at things. Where's... There's apparently someone dead somewhere here. Oh, there you are. You find the body inside the memory, and it appears in real life. Of course, that means we got booted out of that memory, which is annoying, because there were still things I wanted to look at. So the corpse appears in real life. Now, we're going back to the previous one, because there were still things I wanted to look at. The Doom. Here we are. Now, these two. Hello, Finn. Welcome in. So, we got the older lady and the younger miss. So, you. Yeah, I know. That's why I did that. It's giving me a tutorial when I don't need it. There. So, you are presumably the older female passenger, Emily Jackson. Which would make you the younger female passenger, Miss Jane Bird. You, I don't think we don't have enough information to work out who you are. We have him holding two guns. We've got a person who was ripped away from the center point. And he's holding the wheel. I think that's pretty much the only information that you get about this guy in the entire game. The fact that he's holding the wheel and appears ripped away in this point, which makes him the helmsman. I think that's pretty much its entire memory. Yeah, no one else is identifiable. But a few people appear here. We've got a person ripped in half who we need to find out about. Got these two together. But this one's probably going to be gruesome. Or at least the start of the gruesome ones. Because we only have half a corpse. Or not as bad as I was thinking, but ripped in half by the Kraken. And we already do have a clue about his identity here. I can't quite remember who he is, but I do know the sword's important. That's probably the next corpse there. Ooh, nice throw. We've got a bunch of people who fell overboard. So they're going to disappear from the what do you call it? Memories. Not like there's anything really after this. Top Hat throwing a gun to other Top Hat. Really? They say we can identify who this is. Oh, I guess it's the tattoos. So we know he was torn apart by a beast. Torn apart by the captain. No, beast. Like, for some reason, they have eaten as an option to choose as part of the ways people died in here. Like, you can say, like, for the achievement of blaming the captain for everything, I basically just entered that everyone was eaten by the captain. So there was no dialogue. We still have a bunch of people who were here. No one knew. Like, they say you can identify this person. Is there anything that stands out? Like, probably Omid, the Persian. Because he's the only Persian on the entire ship, but that I don't know for sure that those tattoos would make him Persian. So I'm not going to enter anything now. We have another corpse to find. Also, this thing tends to try my patience. With how long it takes to get to the next memory. Threw the powder and exploded. I don't think he intended to sacrifice himself. Judging by the rope holding him to someone else. I wonder, can we see the person from the previous memory? Yeah, the tattoo guy is here. Off to the side. And holding the sword. We've got people trying to bring guns up. So this is probably near the start. I do wonder who threw the powder. Or powder keg, more likely. I guess part 6 of the Doom. Don't know who they are. They seemingly exploded. Blasted by an explosion. So the people here. Not many people are up on deck. Okay, so it wasn't the person who died that spoke. It would have been the person holding the rope, probably. And speaking to someone else. So maybe our tattooed guy, because he was up on the deck at the time. Yeah, close out of that. And that's the end of this memory chain. Like, he's braced. I don't think he threw something, but... I can't be sure of who threw the explosive powder. And now this has opened up for us. The main... well, all-up deck? I don't remember the name for sure. Let's look at the deck plan. Main deck is where we are. We're going down to the gun deck. Where something has exploded and torn apart. Oh, that door's locked. And that opens up later in the game. We have a corpse crushed by a cannon.
What's happened? Sir, loose the cannon! She's nearly over! Hold your fire!
The ship is leaning over, and a cannon without its restraints appears to have backed into him. Although, actually, at least looks like it was knocked loose by another cannon. And then the ship moved over from the tentacles pushing it. Got another dead body over there. Hey, is that Martin? Yeah, there's not really much else to see. Aside from, looks like 2 dead bodies here. Yeah, once we get further into it, we'll be able to start making a lot of deductions. But it's first, collect the evidence. We don't know who they are. They were crushed by a cannon. Crushed by a loose cannon. Yeah, just find your footing. Anyone else? I don't think there's anyone new. No. A corpse missing its head. Cannon in the way. Actually, no, that's just blood. The cannon was pulled sideways by the Kraken after the fuse was lit and just happened to be facing into his face, directly looking into the barrel of a cannon. I mean, how are we supposed to identify that guy? We can, but... Okay. Okay, that's probably how. There's a top hat. We've got another person underneath the cannon, being crushed by the tentacle. That cannon over here getting knocked loose. Is Martin here? Martin is not here. Or at least I didn't see him. 2 people died. Okay, yeah, Martin's not in this scene. So he must have rushed in at the sound of the blast. This person was shot in the face with a cannon. The cannon was being... Do we try and work out who lit the fuse? Or do we just say the beast held the cannon to this guy's face? Because I'm pretty sure it's this guy who lit the fuse. Because he was crushed up against the cannon, I think. Let me see. You. Are you the other person? Or are you the next... No, that's the next body. Damn it, it's gonna eject me out of the memory. So, apparently that blast killed 2 people. I don't want to listen to the whole thing again. But there's only 1 body. I don't know where his body is. So supposedly he was also shot by the cannon. But it would have been this guy who lit the cannon. I wonder if the game will accept that. So yeah, this guy lit the cannon that blasted those two. Oh, he could have saved himself. He's not being held by the tentacle. He's trying to free his mate. Only those two are being held by tentacles. This last guy is not. And with a cannon basically pointing at his face, he's still trying to free his friend. These people are working diligently, and Martin is probably off in one of the rooms. So, this guy was crushed. The other two were shot. So the question is, do I blame this guy for their deaths? Do I blame these two deaths on this guy? Or do I blame it on the beast? I know the beast does work, from what I can remember. But I kind of want to blame this guy for lighting the fuse. Yeah, I can't really get things locked in until I identify them anyway. And that's all we have for this chain. Where's the exit? Oh, it's over there.